Welcome to the MoxStars podcast. I am Menace, one of your hosts. Welcome to the show, and I'm here with Flash.
What is it?
What is going on?
Just for listeners keeping track, reviewers, right?
Oh,
I am not hearing the soundboard still.
ah, dang it!
I heard it for one episode, and now I'm back to not hearing it.
God, you're just in silence over there while we're all enjoying the majesty of Flash Gordon.
Yeah, comment below to let me know what sound effects I'm missing.
Oh, yeah, it's you're missing well, yeah. Let the audience tell you. If you forgot, this is the #1 podcast on the internet for Magic the Gathering and Dr. Pepper. And today we are talking about the biggest news to change the format since last week. And it's one of those things you got to be careful what you wish for, because one of the people that are listening to the show, I feel like, is someone responsible for this decision. Like, we talked about like stronger regulation over the format last week, and well, wish come true, Wizards of the Coast has taken over the Commander format. But before we get into that,
I did say last week that the bans were gonna were partly like the rules committee just saying like, hey, we're forcing everyone to make a decision here about what this format is.
yes,
That turned out to be true.
Yes, yeah, it kind of crazy. Like, I was not really expecting. I wasn't expecting this. That's for sure. It comes at I don't know. It we'll expand on that in just a moment. But if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on YouTube, where we have 288 subscribers. We're almost to 300. Yeah. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more notifications. You can also find us on all major podcasting platforms, where you can leave us a 5-star review and make us look super duper cool. You can also find us and support us directly on Patreon, where you can become an official Pepperhead. For $3 a month, you can support the show and get a free entry into each of our bi-weekly giveaways, or become an official Cherry Pepperhead, like Will Rule, K Mr. K, UWP Quirts, Demon82.
Cherry Vanilla Pepperhead.
What did I say?
Cherry. Just Cherry Pepperhead.
Ooh. Oh.
It's a downgrade.
I am so sorry.
Give these people the respect they are due.
All you Cherry Vanilla Pepperheads out there, we love you. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, we're sorry. We're going to send you a limitless pill once the FDA approves it.
Yep. Yeah. We
apology.
Yeah, we submitted a request. Yeah, that's our bad. Let's do that over again. Okay, the Cherry Vanilla Pepperheads, we've got Will Rule, K Mr. K, UWP Quirt, Demon82, Tommy Cypher, Jacob Hibbard, The Boogie Ghost, Pool Boy Barry, Draw 4 Turn, and the newest Cherry Vanilla Pepperhead is KB. All right, and we have someone hanging out in the MoxStars Dr. Pepper Lounge with Don Cheadle and LeBron's fake family. It's Raven Lift, and the hats are on their way. Got confirmation. I placed the order, and they look sick. They sent me a sample photo. I'm so psyched. Dude, these hats are going to be great.
And we are like deep in the lab designing that bucket hat.
Yes. Yeah. It's actually going to be one whole piece of just one embroidery patch. Like, every week we take an embroidery patch and we sew another one together until it forms the shape of a bucket hat. And then that's what you get. Yeah. It's every week Flash sends me a design, and then I go have it embroidered. And then
We do not do the stitching ourselves.
No.
We have someone do that.
It's a very strange, weird interaction every time I go down to the embroidery, and they're like, "What? You want this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for."
Picture.
They don't see the bucket forming, but it's coming. It is forming. Well, all right. We're also going to have.
Hey, isn't our call to action the pepperheads are forming, if I recall?
Oh, yes, it is. The pepperheads are forming. Is that too much?
No, that's the correct tone.
That's
Definitely.
yeah. That's our battle cry. Outside of Commander, like rules committee news and stuff, the game.
Hey, we didn't finish the intro. We have tokens.
Oh gosh, I'm stumbling today. It's like I just rolled out of bed or something. It is
almost as if you just rolled out of bed.
Almost.
If you can imagine that in your mind palace.
If you guys can see the lines on my face on YouTube, you'll know it's true. We do have tokens. We have 5 MoxStars tokens, and they're rad. They're so freaking rad. Done by Death Milk Designs, a buddy of ours. We've got a copy, a treasure, a construct. They're on the screen. You can check them out and reach out to us on Discord, on the Discord server, if you'd like to get some in your hands. They're super rad. Any other things that I may have missed, Flash? You're always so good at reminding me.
I don't know. I interrupted you a couple times, but did we finish the full Patreon? Hey, like, subscribe, comment, everything. I don't know. Whatever. They get the idea. Everyone that's listening has listened to a podcast at least once in their life before, and we're doing that exact same thing, but with Magic the Gathering and Dr. Pepper. You get it. We're on Patreon. We're on YouTube. That's it.
I know what we forgot.
What?
Night guy gonna do.
Night guy gonna do.
Night guy gonna do. And Willie sent us peeps. For the love of God, put them in the mail.
Yeah, Willie send us peeps.
Yeah.
Actually, before we get into it, I want to give a shout out.
Yeah.
To the guy at Pink Gorilla. I stopped by randomly, and the Outlaws of Thunder Junction set packs, play boosters.
Yeah.
Weren't in the system, so he gave me a sweet deal on some packs.
Hell cool, yeah, dude. That's rad. You get anything good?
I pulled a Rest in Peace. From the vault.
Yeah. Good stuff. That's if you didn't know it, one of the better stacks pieces now that people have new slots to fill in their stacks decks. So I was just thinking, well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a pack. So later today, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to walk down to Mox, pick up the cards I ordered, which I'm not going to give I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of a free plug, but I will get the cards that I ordered, and I'm going to build a Pioneer deck this week. Have you?
Oh, what are you building in Pioneer?
I'm building Otterball. I wonder if any of the listeners have played it before, but it's something new that popped up with Duskmourn. So Duskmourn introduced the Enduring Cycle, so a cycle of enchantment creatures that when they die, they return to the battlefield as enchantments, not creatures. So what happens is Enduring Vitality is a deer. It's a glimmer, but it is a 1 and a green enchantment creature, Elk Glimmer, Vigilance 3/3 that says creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. So it has that Cryptolith Rite text on it. And then there is a card called Storm Splitter. And this is a spell slinging Gruul deck, because Storm Splitter is 3 in a red, a 1/4 with haste. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a token that's a copy of Storm Splitter. Exile that token at the beginning of the next end step. So what happens is Enduring Vitality comes down on turn 3. Maybe it's so there's a few different things that can happen, but turn 1 you can play a dork, turn 2 Cryptolith Right, turn 3 Storm Splitter, game ends. The idea is that you play Storm Splitter and then you're playing all of these little cantrips that say, like creatures you control, like Crash Through, creatures you control get trample, draw a card, or Might of the Meek, right? And so what happens is Storm Splitter sees you tap the Storm Splitter because it has haste, and now tap for 1 of any color, cast that spell, you create a copy of it, you cast another spell, now you have 4 of them, and now you're generating and snowballing otters and drawing cards and creating
you're going otter positive.
Yes, you're going otter positive at that point. So it's and you're playing things like Questing Druid and Bone Crusher Giant and all those things that have their creatures, but they also have instants and sorceries attached to them with adventures. So it's a pretty cool stack of cards that results in you generating a near infinite amount of otters that end the game. So that is the Pioneer deck.
Fun deck in a format that does not have nonsense going on at this time.
Yeah, I think that's where I've found my release on this whole thing is there is so much more Magic to be had outside of just Commander, like on Arena or Standard. Standard is not necessarily healthy right now, but it is a format of Magic that you can play. That has,
you can say that for sure. It is a format of Magic that you can play.
Yeah. It just sucks that they don't have Pioneer like exclusively on Arena. I think it's something that would help the format, like help people understand the format better and help it thrive. But alas.
Yeah, what is the reasoning behind that?
They have historic.
Was it just like the card pool?
Yeah, it was a card pool issue initially, but I think most of the cards...
But hasn't that been solved, essentially?
Yeah, most of the cards that are in Pioneer are in Arena now, and they just exist within Historic. So I'm not quite sure the reasoning, and they haven't drawn that line yet. But hey, someone from Wizards of the Coast is listening to this show right now. I guarantee it. They are. Pioneer will happen in the next 2 weeks on Arena. And you'll be like, what? The MoxStars are prophets. We did it last week. We're going to do it again this week. So, yeah, it's one of those things it'll eventually happen, but it just hasn't happened in in a formal way yet. But yeah, I was just going to go pick up a pack of Duskmourn. I'm going to roll the dice and hopefully pull one of the Shatterfoil cards. I've heard they're beautiful. So
yeah.
I would love to see one in person.
One of those. What is the special bundle called this time for Duskmourn?
Ooh, I don't know.
One of those pre-ordered.
Oh, the TV.
To receive and yeah, I'm excited to open some packs from this set.
Nice.
As we often say, like the enthusiasm comes and goes now, like based on what the theme of the set is and whether that resonates with you. And this is just a cool set. So I'm excited to open some packs. Probably the most excited I've been since like Neon Kamigawa.
Yeah, I feel similarly. This is like a set, talking about Duskmourn, a set that, I don't know, has personality. It has like a lot of, they jam-packed it with like...
It's fun. I don't think there's cards that are like on the same power level in this set that we've seen like in action. But
right.
Like definitely in terms of just like fun and consistent theming and being in that world resonates.
Yeah, that was, I guess, Neon Kamigawa was so immersive. I'm bummed I didn't get out to pre-release for Duskmourn because it was one I was really looking forward to. But hopefully I can still get that experience at draft or by getting one of those, the fat packs, so to speak. Yeah. Today on the MoxStars podcast, the #1 podcast on the internet for Magic the Gathering and Dr. Pepper, if you forgot where you were at, we are talking about this massive announcement that has the community stirring in the largest format to exist within the game. Wizards of the Coast made an announcement just the other day on the future of Commander, and to summarize it, it is written here in bold. So today, in partnership with members of the existing Rules Committee, we are announcing that the Rules Committee is giving management of the Commander format to the game design team of Wizards of the Coast. And that has everybody thinking that the worst thing possible will happen and the format will die and they will create products for profit and then ban them when they sell them to you. That hey, that we're going to have this discussion either way, but we need to take a deep breath. Whew. And talk about it and approach it with a level head. So, Flash, any first thoughts on that statement there?
On which statement?
The one where I need to calm down.
I'm always. You exist at an 11. It could comfortably come down to like a 7 or 8 in most situations. That's just in general.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for?
That's exact. I thrive off of criticism.
Feedback you wanted?
I thrive off criticism, man. If I don't get the feedback, I don't know what's wrong. So,
yeah, I would say actually in the comments, if people could describe their ideal energy level for Evan on a scale of 1 to 11.
1 to Menace.
1 to Menace.
Yeah. All right. The future of Commander is something that is in the air. It is uncertain at the moment just because this is such... There have been a lot of like immediate snap decisions that have sort of been made in the last few weeks, like the banning of Mana Crypt, Dockside, Jeweled Lotus, and Nadu, which we know there could have been a better way. I think we can all say that, giving players a time frame to expect the ban would have been a healthier way to handle that. And that just resulted in a lot of whiplash and, a lot of people sending death threats to a rules committee for a card game that has no bearing on your life. Please go, Flash.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a death threat situation, I feel like.
No.
I mean, this was inevitable, right? Like, at some point, as soon as Wizards officially started becoming aware of the format and then starting putting product in the format, and at some point, they just had to become responsible for the format itself. Like, it was, the Rules Committee did great work for years, but I think the format now is currently the largest, most dominant format in Magic, right?
Yeah. Oh, by far.
Yeah, and at this point, like, it just Wizards has to take responsibility for it. Like, I think going forward, probably like maybe cEDH tournaments is gonna be something different. It doesn't look like the tier system is meant to specifically address cEDH, right?
Correct.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
So this is just it's an inevitable thing, and it's also the company just needs to be like, they're responsible for all the other formats. They need to be responsible for what is their biggest format.
Yeah, like
it also like avoids those situations where they're just printing stuff that they're not specifically thinking about for the format, or they're like printing stuff that's going to get banned, or they're making it the chase card like Jeweled Lotus has been for the past couple sets. And then that gets banned, and they knew the whole time that it might get banned. Like, it's just a more reasonable way to manage expectations about the format.
Right. They're not going to create an environment that's like creates the level of discord we're experiencing now, right? The happier players are, the more willing they are to play the game. So like they are going to put community first, and it just makes sense from a business aspect. Like, yes, they could burn the candle at both ends, and they could print a ton of chase cards that get you to buy the packs and then all of a sudden pull the rug and ban them. Like, totally possible. Like that is a reality. That's something that is a fantasy in this situation, though. It's like community is going to come first because they want to continue growing the community to increase business, to increase profits. That is Hasbro's like core policy, is increase profits. And what is the best way to do that? So by alienating people, like the way that the rules committee like unintentionally did last season or this last week, you know, it's like the way that the rules committee handled the bannings created the most uncomfortable environment that we've seen yet in Commander. Like, I think that's fair to say that I haven't seen the community this volatile or upset over a decision since forever. So like this is one of those things where I really do think that putting it all under one umbrella is just going to, like you said, hold them accountable for some things and be like, allow them to be more responsible for the design that ultimately they didn't have like the ability to make decisions on as far as banning goes before this. So we will see how this all shakes out, but it has like started and created this conversation. And right now our good friend Gavin Verhey is leading the charge of this, you know, forming this committee and forming what will eventually be like the new ban list. So part of
the Pepperheads are forming and the new ban list is forming.
Yes. And they said there are no current changes to the existing ban list. Right off the bat, there's like, hey, just go off of what you have right now. Give us a second to figure this out. So they said that by the time MagicCon Vegas hits, which is a little less than a month away now, they will have they will have a structured committee, ban list, everything put in place, including this new bracket system that, you know, has, you know, bracket 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish I had some imagery.
Which replaces the power level system, which was bad. Objectively bad.
Yes, it was objectively bad, and I don't like, and this is like this tier system. I'm curious to see how it like forms and how it structures, but it's one of those things that having any little bit of that, like having what we had sucked. Let's just say that. Like having someone show up to the table and say, mine's a 7, like in my mind, and then with that part is unspoken. Like they don't say that.
I think in yesterday's update too, they mentioned maybe there being like an app or something eventually where you enter your deck list and like it does the work of saying, hey, this is a category 1, 2, 3, or 4 deck.
Yes, yeah.
Based on the deck list you submitted. Because the power levels are also based on apparently combos. Like, you know, Thoracle is automatically tier 4.
Right. Yeah. And then there were a few other cards, like they said that mass land destruction was going to fall into tier 4, and a few.
Just because it's unfun. Like Armageddon is unfun for the casual player, so tier 4.
Yeah, I was really surprised when they put Drannith Magistrate in tier 3. Like that was one of the early ones. They're like, yeah, you know, Drannith goes in tier 3. And I'm like, oh, what?
Well, I don't know, man. Drannith dies to Doomblade.
That's true.
So I don't know how good it is.
Yeah, go for the throat, cut down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of a bad
tragic slip under the correct conditions.
Yeah, and those conditions are met often. Yeah, that's a shame that Drannith's, you know, so fragile.
It's probably a tier 1 card, actually.
Yeah, maybe we move it down a little further.
There's not a ton of information out there, but it seems like basically tier 1 is precons, tier 2 is tuned, tier 3 is competitive, tier 4 is just here to win and unfun.
Yeah, and it's
and that is much clearer than 1 through 10.
Exactly.
Where the numbers are made up, just like whose line is it anyway?
Yes, and today we have Ryan
Styles.
Ryan Styles.
Colin Mockery.
Yeah.
Wayne Brady.
And your host.
And I'm just naming American.
Yeah,
talking about the British one.
Can you name the British, like the roster of comedians?
Sure. Colin Mockery. He was on both.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Got me. No, I do think that the brackets laying out like the expectations and social expectations for the game is a far healthier way to approach it. And the one thing to note about this committee that they're putting together, they said at least one person from the cEDH community will be a part of the panel. So likely it'll be higher from Playing with Power. That's who I'm casting my vote for that role. Like, there are obviously plenty of people in the cEDH community that can that do deserve this role. But Hire has approached a lot of situations. I've literally seen him on camera handle salty players in a very calm and professional manner that allowed them to learn more about the situation than be upset about it. He was able to disarm the situation and then educate the person on what's happening and how do we take the next steps forward in the game to figure out how do we solve the problem. They're about to win the game. Do you have anything? Can we talk about it? Like stuff like that. So Hire has been is probably the most qualified person for the panel as far as how decisions are made and stuff like that. Like I don't know his management prowess, but his situational prowess is peak. If you have any further thoughts on the format being taken over, the community or the committee being built by Wizards of the Coast, and how the format looks like moving forward, let us know in the comments below on our Discord server. Would love to stir the conversation on it and sort of hear your thoughts. And it's kind of it is a big change, but it can be exciting if you allow it to be exciting for yourself. Flash, any final thoughts?
So far in the comments, we are asking people to give me a complete list of sound effects I've missed. To rate Menace's energy level on a scale of 1 to Menace, and to comment on the new rules committee stuff.
Yeah.
And if you could do that all in one comment, that would be great. That would be administratively on our end, it would make it a lot easier.
And the algae rhythm would love that.
Oh, algae. Hey. If you want to just comment below and give a shout out to Don Cheadle, separate from anything else, you should do that.
It's going to go a long way to making sure that we can secure a sponsorship by Don Cheadle sooner rather than later.
Or just give him his flowers. He deserves it. Great actor.
Yes, a wonderful actor. I loved his...
Gotta say, this is. Have you ever seen Black Monday? I think it was a Showtime show.
No.
Hilarious. No. He's great in it. Yeah.
I was just going to say his rendition of Captain Planet was amazing.
Also great.
Yeah. He's
got the dramatic chops. He's got the comedic chops.
I was just going to say that.
Don Cheadle, human limitless pill.
And this is where we tied the Dr. Pepper thing in.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Don Cheadle and Dr. Pepper. Why are they not already partnered? Well, that's because most things come in threes, and the MoxStars podcast is the connecting piece.
MoxStars podcast, a podcast entirely about Magic the Gathering.
And Don Cheadle. And Dr. Pepper.
and Dr. Pepper,
Yeah.
and Nia guy gonna do.
Nah, guy gonna do. All right. Flash, I believe you have something on the docket for us for the next segment of our show.
Yeah. We're talking about MagicCon Vegas, and my wife, who has a Vegas channel, Vegas Bunny Hops, on YouTube and Instagram and various formats. No Patreon yet, no tokens yet. We're working on getting some foil tokens. Is going to talk about like tips for stuff to do and traveling around and whatnot in Vegas.
All right, everybody, welcome Denise to the show. Denise, I feel like you have a lot to tell us about what happens in Vegas.
Oh, I thought, the whole thing is that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but we're gonna just go over a couple of things. Obviously went to MagicCon Vegas last year, had a great time.
Yeah.
And so just picked up a couple of tips on how to improve the experience and how to get around and some things to do like around the convention center and during the day. So first and foremost, before you even get to Vegas, there's just a couple of things that you're going to want to know, a couple of things you want to put in your little suitcase there. Vegas is a high desert. It's going to be dry. It's going to be hot. You may want to make sure that you pack your chapstick and your deodorant, maybe some saline nasal spray, kind of moisturize your nose during the day there. It's going to get real dry and gross. Gonna want to have comfortable shoes for walking around because you're gonna do a lot of walking. Everything looks very close in Vegas, but it's all just an optical illusion. So just gonna make sure that you have those comfortable sneakers when you're walking around. And also staying hydrated is important because again, it's a desert. Just bring, reusable water bottle. You can fill it up everywhere. Bring some of those hydration packets. I like the liquid IVs. I know there's other Element and other, Pedialyte and things just to stay hydrated.
Coconut water.
And yeah, coconut water is also really good. And then also, just for walking around, I would say have like a sling bag or some sort of crossbody bag. You're going to be in a lot of crowds and people are going to really kind of maybe, put yourself in a situation where you don't want to get pickpocketed or anything like that. Just making sure you always have your stuff like real close to you. So you don't lose anything. If you got a backpack, maybe you wear it in the front of you if you're walking through a big crowd. And then, of course, sunscreen. Also, sunscreen is important because, again, it's going to be hot. You're going to be outside, maybe walking around and stuff like that. So those are just some things before you even get there. And then once you get to Vegas, just know that there are taxi stands available as soon as you get out of the plane. If you're staying somewhere that's close to the Strip, there are flat rate zones for taxis that will take you to different areas on the Strip. But always, of course, look at Lyft and Uber. Compare your pricing. Things may be cheaper. Things may be more expensive. I know that the rideshare apps love to do their surge pricing. So it may turn out that the taxi is just cheaper and faster. You don't have to wait. Just keeping that in mind. As soon as you get there, if you get off the plane and get your luggage. Once you are in Vegas, there's another couple of options for you getting around other than just Lyft and Uber. There's a double-decker bus that goes up and down Las Vegas Strip. It's called the Juice Bus. 2-hour pass is $6 or a 24-hour pass is $8. They've got an app. It's called the RTC app. You can download from Google Play or iPhone store. And you could just purchase the tickets on your phone. It's a little QR code that comes up. You scan it when you get on the bus. You just ride that bus. It goes all the way up and down Las Vegas Strip. Then also over by the convention center, there is the Las Vegas monorail, and that runs kind of parallel to the Strip, behind the Strip, and it goes from the convention center to some of the other hotels. Comes out along the backside of all the hotels that are on the Strip there. A day pass is around $13 a day, and it runs from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m. on the weekends. They'll kind of get you around when you're coming out of the convention center, when you're doing all these little events around.
You're done. You're done with karaoke,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Some other tips for you guys. When you get to your hotel, you're gonna see the mini bar. You're gonna see all those snackies. Don't touch anything. They're all weighted. They're all very expensive. You may think, oh, I want to store like my snacks or like my drinks in this fridge. Do not take out anything from these fridges. They are all weighted. As soon as you like even look at it, I don't even touch it, look at it, don't do anything. Um, I I bring my own cooler bag and then just fill it up from the ice at the hotel. But you can also, maybe if you have a room that has a double sink, you can use one of the sinks as a cooler. We've used a trash can from the room, just, put like one of the little trash bags in there that they give you, fill it up with ice, keep all your stuff nice and cold. Because again, like you said, you're going to want to stay hydrated. And then there are some places on the strip that you're going to be able to get cheap snacks and drinks. And there's like multiple CVS, Walgreens, this place called the ABC store, which is like from Hawaii. They have a couple of locations. They have real cheap waters and everything. Just, make sure again, stocking up on all that stuff is going to be real cheap, a lot cheaper than your hotel minibar, and also a lot cheaper than any of the stores that are in the casino itself.
You will, I think, you will be surprised, like when you get there, how far and few between water fountains are, even at the convention center. So, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, even having like 2 or 3 water bottles on you, like, it is a good idea. Just you never, like Denise was saying, it is so far to walk places. And an Uber is incredibly expensive. So if you're down for walking 2 miles to go get a bagel, like you're gonna want maybe a bottle of water with you so you don't get cooked in that desert sun.
Yeah. Like a lot of water fountains are really kind of few and far between for some reason. I guess it just has to do with like being in the desert and the drought. But if you go to like a bar in the casino, you can always ask them. They have like little bottles of water on the casino floor. Maybe tip them like $1 or something, like just for the water. It's usually free. You can get a cup of water. You'll even if you have your big refillable water, you can ask the bartenders to fill them up for you. And then another pro tip is inside your hotel, the gym that's in there usually has a water station that you can refill things in there as well if you don't want to just go out and buy a whole bunch of bottled waters.
Yeah, I will say on the subject of tipping, when you get off the taxi, or like when you get off out of your taxi, off out of your Uber or whatever, and a doorman comes to you, don't blow your tip load on the doorman. You have to save some tip for the guy who delivers your bags to the room too. Don't look like a jackass like Menace, who gave the doorman $40 for taking care of his bags. And then when the doorman shows up, the guy who delivers the bags, you have nothing, and you just look at him weird, and he looks at you, and you just go, thanks. I felt like such an idiot.
Oh, well, I guess you didn't know that like that was going to be the whole situation, because sometimes it's different. It's like some places, some of the bell desks, like when you drop off the bag, they'll just give you the bag there. And then sometimes they'll be like, oh, we'll just bring it up to your room. So
Yeah.
just keeping that in mind. But tipping is also important. Las Vegas is like a big hospitality town. Even if you give somebody just a couple like bucks here and there, it's going to really improve the experience for you for a lot of the stuff. I know one of the things that people talk about a lot, it's kind of like one of those um, hidden tricks in Vegas, as they call it, the $20 trick. And so what people will do is when they check into the casino, they'll give your ID and your credit card, and you kind of sandwich a $20 bill in between and like slip it over to the front desk person. And then sometimes they get you a better room, sometimes it doesn't. If they don't have anything available for you, they usually give you your money back. But it's something to consider, like maybe you want like a bigger room or a better room if you've got the funds available to do so. Like maybe you're in a room with a bunch of people and you're like, well, we've only got 2 beds, and if you don't want to sleep on the floor, maybe they'll give us a better room. So, it's obviously your mileage will vary with that, but it's a common thing that people do in Vegas when checking into hotels.
Well, now here, this is the nitty gritty. This is what I want to know about.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Oh, places to
Trying to think if
go.
there's any places to go. Yes.
Yeah.
So, right around the convention center. If you're looking for places to go to eat during the day, things that are pretty close by, it will be a little bit of walking because there's not anything kind of directly around the convention center itself, but some really good places to check out and kind of just talked about a little bit is a place called Siegel's Bagel Mania.
Yeah.
They don't just have bagels there, but the bagels are amazing. They also, it's kind of like a old school kind of dinerish place, and they have all kinds of like breakfast platters and kind of like a Jewish deli, like big deli sandwiches. There's also a pink box donuts that's also in the same place, so you can get donuts, you can get pastries, bagels, all stuff either to go. You can order ahead on their website, or you can sit down in there and eat. They're open every day from 6 a.m. to 3:30. If there are other conventions going on, just keep that in mind, like around like peak hours, because they do get pretty busy. But again, like if you want to just grab something to go, they have a kind of to go takeout thing, and also you can also order ahead on their website for pickup.
Yeah, and the convention floor opens at 10 a.m. So like make sure you're not standing in line at 10 a.m. because that's when the rush is like going to be happening. So make sure you get there early if you want a decent bagel sandwich. That's where I was going a lot last year. So it's a good spot.
Then also there is a supreme, awesome, amazing taco place called Tacos El Gordo. And they open 10 a.m. and they are open until 4 in the morning. So if you want lunch, you want dinner, you want a late night drunk snack, you want tacos anytime, Tacos El Gordo. Also nearby, they have all your different various taco meats. It is like a Tijuana hotspot. Came in from California. They've got different lines that you have to get on for something. So maybe if you've got like a bunch of people with you, have somebody get in one of the other lines to get some of the other things. So there's like one line for tacos, one line for fries, one line for nachos or something, and then your beverages. Kind of just get a whole bunch of tacos, and they're so good.
Yeah, a bunch of different lines for, do you want beef? Do you want pork? Do you want chicken? Like, you stand in the chicken line, you get, that's what you get. You stand in the pork line, you say, oh, I want cabeza. I want this, I want that. Yeah. It's that place does it right. It's a really, really, really great taco. I was shocked. Honestly, you guys built it up and as something that I was like, you're gonna have the best tacos of your life, and I was like, there's no way. And then I had the best tacos of my life while I was there. So it was.
And the lines do get very long again around peak times, but if you need to overflow, there are 2 other taco spots that are right next door to there. They're not as good, but in a pinch, if you just really want to like have satisfy that taco craving, there's some other taco places that are next door to that.
Yeah.
Also in that same shopping center, there's a sushi place, there's a Korean all-you-can-eat barbecue something. So there's a bunch of other stuff in that shopping center as well.
There's also a suggestion by one of our watchers or one of our supporters out there that if you go to the Discord server and you go to the Chef's Corner, there have been a couple recommendations for places in Vegas by a couple of people who live in Vegas who watch the show. So you can check that out there too.
There's also a couple other spots that are around there. You've got a Denny's, you've got a 7-Eleven, over in the Resorts World Casino and in Circus, they've got their food courts if you just need something quick and cheap. One of the places that I like that's in Resorts World is Mulberry Street Pizza. They have huge slices of pizza, and then they do a special where you can get a slice of cheese with pepperoni pizza with a beer for $10, or if you want a frozen margarita for $15. And over in Slots of Fun, which is in front of Circus, they've got $2 beers, $2 hot dogs, $2 popcorn, $2 shrimp cocktail, $2 tacos. So if you're just trying to get, if you're on a budget and you just want to save that money for other stuff, there's definitely cheap things out there for you to eat. I know people, say that Las Vegas is really expensive, but there are a lot of places you can find the deals out there. So
that's one hell of a deal. And so,
Yeah.
question for you, like
hmm
while we were there last time, it was actually kind of hard to find coffee. Where would you say for all those coffee
Oh,
drinkers out
yes.
there, what would be a good
Okay.
place?
So, a lot of your hotels now all have Starbucks, and Starbucks is just, very generic. Um, but if you need it in a pinch, it's there. There's also in front of the Fashion Show Mall, which is also kind of nearby where the convention center is. There is a Dunkin' Donuts that's out front there, and every afternoon they do a happy hour where you can get any size drink, hot or cold, from 1 to 5 p.m., any size, $1.99. It
What?
has saved me many afternoons. It's great. If you need that like 2 p.m. pick me up, the Dunkin' Donuts is there. And they're open early too. Like if you want to go before the convention, they're open at 6 a.m. But especially like East Coasters who miss their Dunkin' Donuts, that's out there. And then something that a lot of other people do in Vegas is they'll bring their own coffee makers if you want. Some people are crazy enough to do that. It's like the coffee machines in the room, usually they make you pay for the coffee pods and stuff, and it's like super expensive. And then like, because you don't want to have to wait in line for Starbucks in your casino hotel.
Sure, yeah.
Um, I would also recommend maybe like either those like instant coffee packets or like cold brew concentrate from Trader Joe's. I've done that before. Just add ice and water and then you're good to go.
Yeah, caffeine is was one of the things that I struggled finding until, like we went. I think that Dunkin' Donuts saved my life.
Yeah.
Like when we stopped, that was like the pick me up I needed that day. And like the hotel coffee was just not what I was looking for,
No,
It-
yeah.
So it's good to have a
You
few
need
wrecks.
all that like sugar and milk from Dunkin' Donuts.
Sometimes it's necessary. My blood sugar
is.
got a little low out there in the desert. So no, yeah, it's you're going to be doing a lot of walking, and I think that's the one thing that I can like sort of like reinforce is that if you are at the convention, it is a very large space. You're going to be walking. If you walk from one side of the convention to the other, it's like a quarter mile, and then or maybe a little bit more, and then you go upstairs and there's even more upstairs, and you're weaving in and out of artist booths. You're looking for your favorite artists. You're looking through merch stands and stuff like that. It's surprising how many steps you take over the course of an entire weekend of being there, or even just one day. So all of these things to, like make sure you're hydrated or bring comfy shoes, dress for success. And like, by that, I mean, dress comfortably because even though the space is large, it's surprising how warm it gets in there. So like definitely have some like moisture wicking clothing that it goes a long way, and bring some flip flops for the love of God. Like, or what I would do now is I would put super comfy flip flops in my backpack and then have my walking shoes and change into the comfy shoes when I, arrive at my destination, so it's definitely worth, definitely thinking about those elements of the convention, that even though they aren't like, there isn't a survival guide, that Wizards of the Coast is giving people, which, hey, might be a good idea.
Mhm.
This is the MoxStars survival guide. Denise, any more tips for the listeners out there?
Sure, I got a couple more here.
Yeah.
So I know that there are some extracurricular activities happening outside convention hours. So if you are attending the Dungeons and Drag Queens show, while you're there, just know what's around there. If you're looking for drinks or food, it's on the UNLV campus, so there's going to be lots of choices for cheap eats around there. There is the Hofbrauhaus. It's Oktoberfest, so get some big beers, get some German food. There's also Blueberry Hill, which is a 24-hour diner. There's the Back to the 80s cafe, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is just a themed 80s cafe. Everything's going to be all nostalgia. And then also it is near what they call the Fruit Loop, which is the neighborhood in Vegas. So there's queer-friendly bars and clubs that are around there as well for more evening activities. And then if you are attending the Halloween Haunt Party, which is in the Mandalay Bay Casino, you've got a couple of options in there for restaurants and bars as well. There is Raw Irish Pub. That's open until midnight. It's got your traditional Irish pub fare. There's the 1923 Prohibition Bar, which is a speakeasy. It's actually not that hard to find. It's next to the -5 ice bar. You kind of just push the wall open, and then they've got like classic Prohibition style cocktails in there. There is a place across the street from Mandalay Bay. It's called Saulita's, and they have the biggest burritos I've ever had in my life. They're Filipino-inspired burritos. They've got like French fries in them. They're gigantic.
I'm in.
And so bring a bunch of friends or bring your appetite. They're amazing. They also do breakfast too, but if you're there late night, either before the party or after, it's a great place to stop into. And I think that's it. So thanks for having me on, and I hope you guys have a great time at MagicCon this year. And if you thought that these tips were helpful, you can like and subscribe to my channel. I've got some other videos where we do walking tours of inside the different casinos in Vegas, and going to start adding some more reviews and travel content. And yeah, just let me know.
All right. Yeah. And I'll make sure there's a link in the description below for Denise's channel. And the last tip that I can give personally for everybody out there, they will not let you into the nightclub if you're wearing a sports jersey. Just got to put that out there. They will not. All right, Denise, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And thanks for all the helpful tips.
All right. Great.
And I will see you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Well, Denise is an absolute rock star for all those tips. Like
absolute mock star.
An absolute mock star. Yes, sir. It is. I don't know why those things just don't click in my brain. Like it's right there. It's right there, Menace. Get it.
Oh, man, pop a limitless pill. You'll get
yeah,
there.
I'm gonna need to. It's like I just rolled out of bed or something. So the
almost as if.
Almost. But yeah, all those tips are like super helpful. A lot of things that I didn't have insight into, like places to go eat, like different neighborhoods, like is specifically tailored to certain events that are happening that have been advertised. Like the Dungeons and Drag Queens and the Halloween party. So I'll definitely be checking out a few of those. Yeah, I'm super excited for MagicCon, dude. And I hope.
When is that?
October 25th.
October 25th.
Yeah.
Year of our Lord.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there all weekend. Anybody who's out there, you can find Menace on the floor. I'm going to be hogging a table and just playing some good old-fashioned Magic all weekend long. Come jam some Magic with me. And, yeah, just hang out in general. Get a Dr. Pepper. I'm going to have probably between 300 or 400 cans at the table. So
minimum 300 to 400 minimum.
Yeah. Well, everyone's getting 2 to hit their limitless, get their limitless pill in. That way we can play like peak Magic. Imagine being on a limitless pill while playing Magic.
As Richard Garfield intended.
Absolutely. And as Gavin Verhey designs this committee, he will take that into consideration. What cards do we need to consider putting in tier 4 because they function differently when the player is on a limitless pill?
Yeah, they actually have not gotten into that yet. That has to be forthcoming. Like the tiers, it's not just like, hey, you're playing these cards, you're playing Drain at tier 3. It's not just like combos. Hey, you got Thoracle, tier 4. It's like, it's a combination of things. They said there's an app. I think the app, you also have to enter like which types of Dr. Pepper you've consumed in the past 24 to 48 hours. That range is pretty big. It might just be 24 hours. There's a study forthcoming in the New England Journal of Medicine that's going to like clarify whether the effects of Dr. Pepper linger up to 48 hours Personally, anecdotally, I feel like it does.
And
you know,
yeah, the Surgeon Master General.
Yep, the Surgeon Master General. That's right. That is the human creature Surgeon Master General. Legendary human creature, human Surgeon Master General. Said
Dr. Pepper.
That is, oh my God, that is Dr. Pepper's typing.
Yes.
Oh, somebody create a custom legendary Dr. Pepper creature with that typing. Maybe in a secret layer if we make it big. But anyway, they said that, you know, the effects of Dr. Pepper might linger in the system up to 48 hours, but it's 24 to 48 hours. And so you put all that information in the app, and it just tells you like what tier you're playing. So if you've had 2 Dr. Peppers, we're talking classic Dr. Peppers, automatically tier 4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now they said in this announcement that they're not locked in and they're not like hell bent on, you know, like they're not tied to the number of tiers being 4, you know, and that's good. It's great. Mm-hmm. Right? Because if you bring a toasted coconut Dr. Pepper to the table, it's not officially banned by Wizards of the Coast. You enter that into the system and it's just going to probably throw you into like tier 7 or 8. Like it's just
absolutely, yeah. You unlock some of the hidden tiers.
Yeah. Yeah, there are hidden tiers yet to be had. So
yeah, aren't there hidden tiers yet to be had on Patreon?
There are. They're hidden. And they're hidden well. If you can find them, you can enter them.
They're only revealed to true pepperheads.
There is a $23,000 tier. It's the ultimate Dr. Pepper tier, the Surgeon Master,
Menace.
The Surgeon
Menace.
Master General tier.
Menace, listen to me right now. Add that tier.
Oh my God!
Shoot your shot.
Shoot for the moon. The Surgeon Master General Dr. Pepper tier will arrive.
And you know what you get as a reward for that tier? You get all the rewards of the lower tiers except for the hats. The hats are exclusive to that tier, okay? But this $23,000 tier, you get some new rewards. And what you get is 1 t-shirt.
Keep piling it on. You get a t-shirt. And it's a 1 of 1, a 1 of 1 t-shirt.
1 of 1 t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that is it.
That's it.
But you also get all the benefits of the lower tiers. But you get the exclusive 1 of 1 t-shirt.
Not all of the benefits of the lower tiers.
Well, you don't get the hats.
Right.
Because the hats are exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And Ravenlift is just, they're going to get that hat. They're going to get that bucket hat. They're playing the long game. I respect it. They are going to get that bucket hat.
Yeah, I can I feel it.
But
in the
$23,000 tier, you get a t-shirt, and you're the only one getting that t-shirt.
Ever. Not
all
even
time, as Richard Garfield intended. 1 t-shirt. Rule them all.
1 t-shirt to find them. This
and in the cotton bind them. Yes, I am so proud of myself.
Yes, yeah, it was right there for you. I'm glad you snatched it.
Yep.
If you guys forgot, this is the MoxStars
podcast.
And we talk about Magic the Gathering and Dr. Pepper and many other things, as it seems. But this is the end of today's show. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you support us on YouTube. You like, subscribe, ring that bell for more notifications, and join the Discord server. Reach out to us if you'd like a set of tokens. And then what else? Did we just talk about the Patreon? We have a Patreon. You can support us directly by becoming an official Pepperhead. Oh, yeah. For $3 a month. Support the show, or you can become a cherry vanilla Pepperhead like Will Rule, K Mr. K, UWP Court, Demon82, Tommy Cypher, Jacob Hibbard, The Boogie Ghost, Poolboy Barry, Draw for Turn, and our newest cherry vanilla Pepperhead, KB. We also have Ravenlift chilling in the MoxStars Dr. Pepper Lounge with Don Cheadle and the Bronze Fake family. The Iron Giant also was there this week. So Ravenlift will have to expand on that experience. That after the Iron Giant had reassembled himself, I had figured he was done hanging out in the lounge. But he made appearance this week.
I've always wondered, and maybe Ravenlift can answer this for me, what's the Iron Giant like in real life? Did he go all Hollywood and stuff after the movie, or is he still cool?
Yeah, is he still selfless in the same way that he was like before getting blown to smithereens? We need to know. So, all right, we're getting out of here.
You forgot to mention the $23,000 tier on Patreon.
Oh yeah, we have the Surgeon Master General tier, the legendary creature, Dr. Pepper himself.
Dr. Pepper, legendary human creature, Surgeon Master General.
$23,000 tier.
And you get a one of one t-shirt.
Yeah, that you do. All right. Peace.
Oh, and we forgot to shout out the hidden tiers that are unlocked by the Limitless pill. Yeah. Once you consume a Limitless pill, you'll be able to see the Matrix and take a look on our Patreon and find those hidden tiers with hidden prizes. For me, the way it happened is that Don Cheadle appeared to me in a dream.
That's what happened? He appeared?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, he appeared. What?
You're the prophesized one, dude.
Oh.
You are.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the prophecy.
Hey, you know what
written.
else we forgot? Oh, the prophecy as Richard Garfield intended.
Yeah.
And then another shout out, Vegas Bunny Hops on YouTube and Instagram.
Check out Denise's channel in the description below.
Okay.
Are you
now? I am out of shout outs.
You are sated. Okay. Lovely. This has been the MoxStars podcast. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you soon. Peace.
See ya.